Hello Capricorn. Great to have you here. My name is Shauna. Today's reading is a general love forecast for November 2025. As always, take the messages that resonate and release anything that doesn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay connected with upcoming readings. Let's see what's headed your way, Capricorn. I have for you guys is I feel like there's a person in your environment who is trying to flatter you, who's trying to please you, who's trying to really get your attention and, stay on your good side. And I feel like they're laying it on a little bit thick. So for some of you, it could be like a niece, a nephew, somebody younger, and others, it could be like a subordinate, a person that you're training, or a person that you're doing like, performance review for, or you're working, collaborating with them in some way. But I feel like they could also be somebody that has a crush on you and they're laying it on just a little bit too thick. And I feel that it can make you, I don't sense that you're mad at them or you hate them or you feel that they're insincere. I don't feel that they're insincere. I feel like they do like you and they want to stay on your good side and they want to, follow your footsteps. But I feel like you're a little bit embarrassed by it. So that's the only thing I feel coming through. This energy is going to permeate throughout this month. So I feel like you're getting a lot of fun, lighthearted jostling back and forth between you and another person, and I feel like the person is making you feel a little bit embarrassed, okay? And they don't have bad intentions, so don't guard against it. And then for others, the second message I have here is communication from an ex. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, but I keep seeing this ex energy coming through for a lot of signs. And in particular, air signs, so Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, and then now you guys. So I feel like air signs and earth signs overall. So a lot of past energies coming back in. What I'm feeling is you're making new strides in your life, and you're trying to, I feel like you have a lot of positive energies. Vibrationally, you have moved on, or you're moving to a better place. Old people are always going to come back energetically, mainly because it's a test, okay? It's a test for you to keep in good strides, keep moving forward. Because I feel like exes and people from the past, they're afraid they've lost you, or they're afraid that you're drifting away. And so they're going to reach out with that last ditch attempt at reconciliation. But I feel that at this point in your life, you're looking at a situation kind of objectively, and it feels to me like you're looking through, somebody's knocking on the door, you're looking through the peephole, and you're just like, well, who is it? What do you want? And if the answer from the person outside the door is not satisfying, is not meaningful, or is not straightforward, you're just going to walk away. And so this is the month where I feel like people are coming to you for assistance, or they're coming to you, especially exes, for feedback, for some type of last ditch attempt at, engaging with you in a conversation. And you're not going to waste the time, because honestly, you feel that energetically you're in a different place and your paths are no longer aligned. And so you're trying to move on. I do feel they're saying, like, laying to rest a lot of unhealthy habits. So that basically means quitting drinking, quitting smoking, having a more rigid exercise routine for yourself, for many of you, and taking better care of your health, not drinking to have fun, rather than drinking to forget like unhappy times, rather than drinking just to feel as a form of escapism. So I also feel like, they're saying an end to a lot of bad habits, an end to reckless spending and reckless behavior, and having new opportunities so that you can create a more stable financial future for yourself, and having a lot more stability so that you have a way where you can move forward and you can feel really good about, where you are in life, and really good about your achievements and your progress, okay? So this is I feel like the energy is very, very strong, where you're going to feel really happy and just very excited and very optimistic this month. So one last card here. Let me see if there's any last minute messages here. They're saying that somebody's motives will be very clear to you. And I do see a little bit of jealousy, envy from the work environment. I do sense that. And they're saying somebody's motives will be really, really clear to you. If in the past you're just like, I don't know why I get a weird vibe about this person. Well, this is the month in which you're going to know where you stand with them. I don't see them confronting you, but I feel like you're going to hear something about it. And either through third parties or somebody's going to pass some information along to you, or something will happen to reveal somebody's intentions or motives or feelings towards you. And so, wisdom and insight, it allows us to know how to navigate an interaction with another person. Okay, so let me just go into your reading. So the first card that fell out here is the Empress. And the Empress overall, this is a card about attracting really good things to you, okay? Taking charge of your domain, being able to rule your territory, being able to claim stake your claim, and really being able to, through everything that you've done, through all your accomplishment, and through the virtue of being you, I feel that you are being appreciated for all your efforts. And when I think of the Empress, this overall denotes to me a card about expanding, okay? Expanding, especially the family unit, thinking about strategies that we can take so that we become a lot more abundant financially, emotionally, intellectually, whatever the situation is, you are aiming to be a lot more abundant for this month. I feel for some of you, there's an element here of family planning, possibly thinking about decorating a home, like a room in the home, to create a nursery for those who are expecting, like a child, or have recently given birth to a child, or have welcomed something new in your home environment. For others of you, you're having heavy talks here with another person about possibly purchasing a home. So you could be renting now, wanting to shift into a home buyer's or homeowner's position, or you could be thinking about, making long-term purchases or even investment properties to increase your income, but also to purchase property that you can own and live in. So there's an element here about wanting to create something long-lasting and stable. This card with the Five of Pentacles in the reverse, this is a card about financial hardships, financial difficulties. This is the month where you are going to begin to quickly, very rapidly, very quickly shift away from this poverty consciousness, okay? And I feel like physically, financially, things are going to be really good for you guys financially. And of course, money is greatly linked up with our career. So I feel like there is new responsibilities given to you, new roles, new tasks, new titles, new salary, new pay scales, negotiated and signed on and agreed upon. So your financial situation, I'm seeing an element of possibly, like an increase in the increment of, they're saying here 5, so it could be, an additional 500 a month, an additional 5,000 a year, an additional, even 5,000 in bonus, commission, and things like that. But I feel that you're going to be able to accumulate a lot of wealth in a what I'm also feeling as well is I feel like many of you are in a relationship right now. You are in a relationship and you have a partner that you have always seen eye to eye with, okay? You've always agreed. You've always been very similar in values, in the way you look at life, in the ways that, in the things that you are on board with. And I do feel there's an element here about two people needing to decide long-term goals, long-term prospects. And what that means to me is because of this big wave of change that's happening for you, there's a lot of discussions that's taking place between you and your partner. What are we doing now? Where do we go? Where do we live? Do we buy a home together? Do we move in? Do we get married? So I feel like there's a lot of questions for those in stable relationships who are even married, or, if you're still dating, or if you're still just in a relationship with another person. There's a lot of discussion between you and your significant other about how to invest money, how to make money work for the both of you. And there are a lot of questions as well about family planning, about marriage, about stability and viability of that relationship. It's a neutral energy, so I feel like it can go both ways, but I do feel solidification of relationships and a lot of talks, serious discussions, serious talks about, the next step between you and your partner. And I feel like you both are coming into a situation where you're deciding things together as a couple. So we have a new phase coming in as well with this death card. It basically denotes the times are changing. Financial instability is have a lot of positive reception. You're going to have a lot of success. You're going to be able to reach out and have, I want to say like have a lot of command and power of persuasion over other people. And I mentioned this with Virgos. You're not a sign that is flashy and flamboyant, as an earth sign. I feel like you work really well on your own, but I feel some of you, social nicety, knowing how to mingle, knowing how to make small talk, knowing how to be a very likable, a people-oriented person, is going to be really good for you for this month. And for you're the climber of the zodiac, and goats are very stoic, and they are also very, lone wolf-ish types. And what I feel is that for a lot of you, you work in a very silent, stealthy way. You don't really reveal your plans and things like that unless it's somebody who's very close to it's with somebody who's very close to you. So you're not out there blabbing to the world, your ideas. And you're not somebody that needs other people to bounce ideas off of. You are very self-contained and you're very stoic. And some of you might have had a lot of success in your life, and a lot of it is completely of your own doing. No one really helped you. You got where you are because of your sheer dedication, sheer hard work, keeping things close to your chest, and having a good sense of intuitive timing. And then I feel for others of you, your ability to be very sociable, very likable, team-oriented, a great team player, whether or not you're able to do that, it might have hurt or really hinder your career development. Does that make sense? So I feel like some of you, there's great success here because you might have been professionally in a field where you don't have to collaborate. You can work as if, everybody works as if they're insulated, as if every man's an island. But I do feel for others of you, your ability to really network professionally, to really show other managers or supervisor that you're a great leader, that you're a great team player. The opportunities might not have presented themselves in the past, or your ability to work collaboratively and successfully might have hindered your ability to rise to a position of prominence. And so coming through for this month, I feel that you need other people. You will be put in a position where you have to collaborate with other people, where you need to teach other people, where you need to interact heavily with other people. And other people's assessment of you matters a great deal, and it might make or break the work environment. It might allow you a foot in the door into a really prestigious company, a very stable, enjoyable place to work, or it can hurt your career development. So I feel overall, working with other people rather than being the lone wolf in the limelight, collaborating with other people, reaching out to other people, showing other people how great of a team player you are, how on board you are, how effective you are at communicating and playing nice and being able to mingle and being able to socialize. It's going to be really good for you. And I feel some of you are a little bit kind of shy, okay? So you might not be used to making cold calls. You might be in a customer service capacity where you have to resolve problems, troubleshoot, help people deal with some issues. And you might be a little bit more on the shy side. This is the month in which you need to step out of that comfort zone and play a little bit more of a dominant role. Okay, so play a little bit more of a leadership role, play a little bit more of an aggressive, assertive, dominant role so that you can stand out from amongst the crowd. I do see overall the work environment that you're in, it's very dynamic. It's not a rigid structure company or an institution. It's highly innovative, so they do value innovation. And innovation, it doesn't come through in a vacuum, right? Like technological diffusion, innovative ideas, innovative breakthroughs. They don't happen because everyone works in a bubble. They happen because people share and collaborate and, talk about best practices and basically pick and choose what works and what doesn't so that they can have the best to successfully complete a project, to successfully design or create something, or design and assemble a team or assemble a product. So I feel like the environment that you're in values innovation. They value information sharing. And so being a lot more of a team player is going to be really good for you. And the environment itself is not rigid and boring and, um, I want to say it's not based on seniority. And I feel that being able to joke around a little bit more, not keeping yourself shut in your office or in your cubicle, is going to be really good for you. So you need other people for this month, okay? And you need to branch out. I do feel, though, for some of you, there is a significant relationship. And I feel like it's a family situation that is going through some turbulence, okay? So I feel for some of you, it could be somebody that you've been dating for a while, you have a very strong emotional connection, but they're not looking for the stability that you're looking for. And at the same time, I also feel there is an element here about you elevating, things happening really fast for you. It is your time to shine. And so energetically, you're on a different wavelength, on a different vibration. The partner that you've been with, I feel that you're no longer seeing eye to eye. You're no longer working towards the same goals. And so you might quickly realize this. And on top of that, your world is opening up. There's new people soliciting you for dates, soliciting you for opportunities to go out, have fun, let your hair down. And so I feel like you're reassessing a major significant relationship in your life and to figure out whether or not it is still possible for you to be in it, or whether or not it's really hindering your progress and your ability to move forward, okay? So it's a very other-oriented month, Capricorn, and your ability to work with others is really going to allow you to move on to that next stage, that next evolutionary stage in your professional life, in your own personal growth, okay? Financially, I feel this is going to be a really big breakthrough month for many of you. It's looking really good, okay? So I'm very happy to see this. I'm so happy to see this for you guys. Because I know you work really hard. You guys work so hard, Capricorns. And a lot of the times too, you do what's right. You and the Virgos, you do what's right. You don't want that recognition, you don't mind getting your hands dirty, and you don't mind doing something, picking up somebody else's slack, and you do it without complaint. So I feel like you guys are hard worker. But given the right opportunities, you can shine so strongly. But a lot of the times you're happy with the status quo. You're happy where you are. And it takes you a really long time to shift into new location, shift into new careers. Okay, so I feel like I'm really happy to see this energy for you guys. You've been needing it for quite some months. Okay, so let me see what's in store for you for love, relationships, and romance. So Okay. So let me just talk about a big message that I felt when I was shuffling the cards. And going back to what I mentioned about things in general, okay? I feel like a lot of the times you stay in jobs for a really long time. And I feel like once you stay in a job situation, it takes some major external shocks or even internal shocks for you to leave a place. And I feel like that same message is permeating in your relationship sector. It takes a major shock for you to leave a relationship partner. All the Capricorn people that I've known, and you know, this is just something astrologically speaking to me as well. You have a really, and this is true especially for Capricorns and Pisces, because you're towards the end of the zodiac. You embody all the energies of the previous signs, and you also understand, you have a very deep sympathetic and empathetic understanding of human nature. And so you don't hold people, you know, like you don't hold grudges against people. And at the same time, you're very forgiving, you're very lenient, you're very understanding of people and their faults and their flaws, that you don't really hold a grudge against them. Okay? You just hope that they get better and that they, you know, become better people. You don't really, you don't hate anybody. And so what I feel happening here is this. We have a situation here, the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is something that is a little bit hurtful. It's something that it comes through as a... So let me talk about this first. Crowning this reading is something that you're thinking about. And you're thinking about hurts and I want to say like problematic communication with another person. And problematic communication with another person basically means that two people are not seeing eye to eye. They might not want the same things in a relationship. And it feels to me like there is a third party interfering in a relationship. It's indicative here with the Three of Cups and the Nine of Swords. A lot of anxiety, a lot of worries, and a lot of just restless nights. Not being able to get that good sleep because you're thinking about your partner, you're thinking about where they are, you're thinking whether or not they're with somebody else, or, you know, things like that. And this is something that has happened in the past. You had a conversation with your partner, things are settled, things are okay, and it seems to me as if they've made some promises that they will change, or they've made some promises that, you know, or they might have said some things that got you to believe that, okay, it's not going to happen again. So I feel like there has been some third party interfering in the relationship. You don't know to what extent, but I feel like a lot of you are suspecting that it's flirtation, stepping outside of a relationship, and your partner is somebody possibly with very strong high libido. They are somebody that's very flirtatious, very exciting, very I want to say like flamboyant. They're very flirtatious. And so it might spark jealousy. It might also create some insecurity within you, and you might not believe the person is completely honest and truthful and faithful. So I feel like for those of you who are in a relationship and it feels like you might even live together, like you're married, like you might have children together, you might not be formally married, or you might even be formally married, and there has been some cheating, some lying, some deception in the past, and you're not sure if you can still give them another chance. So I feel like suspicions, especially for those in the relationship where you feel like you're almost like married, okay? Whether or not you're legally married, I feel like you're married. But there's trust issues. In the foundation is something that you're coming into the month with the information about, okay? You already know this. What we have here is the Nine of Coins, and the Nine of Coins is overcoming obstacles. This is flying over your worries, okay? Leaving your worries behind, flying over it, having the financial abundance and the stability too. and feeling very good, and just, in a position where you don't have to worry. And I feel like for many of you, you have left a relationship behind. You have moved on here with the death card. And you're single. You're not even looking. You're not even like out there putting yourself out there dating. But a lot of people are sending you messages telling you how beautiful you are, how attractive you are, and how much they want to date you. So I feel like some of you, you're kind of just walking down the street and people are grabbing you left and right. That's what I'm sensing, because especially for the singles, you have left somebody behind. There's a lot of untruthful like communication. There's also a lot of like suspicions about infidelity, and overall you and the other person cannot agree on the future of the relationship. You've left them behind. You're not even trying to date, and you have people soliciting you. The Page of Wands here, I'm not reading this so much as a person, but I do feel for some of you, you're dealing here with a fire sign. So we have here Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo, a sun, moon, or rising. And this is somebody who does have a little bit of a big ego. And when you're dealing with somebody with a big ego, apologies is not something you're going to hear from them. The truth might not be something that you're going to hear from them, because they don't want you to see them in a bad light. Apologizing means admitting that they did something wrong. And because they have a big ego, they feel that, oh, if I admit that I did something wrong, then the other person has one up on me, is going to lord that information over me. And I feel like you're dealing with someone whose vibration is very low. They're not able to, they don't have a lot of wisdom and a lot of insights. And I feel like, at their best, they have a really good heart. They might even love animals. They might, be very nurturing and caring. But they have problems being truthful. I feel like you're dealing with someone who has trouble giving you the truth, okay? And so I feel like some of you are still grappling with this, still dealing with this. Others have moved on. And you have friends and family, social functions that you're going to. You also have a lot of, it's almost like you're still trying to move past it. So dating is not something that you're heavily focused on right now. There's a lot of suitors, there's communication, but I feel that you're still, you want to be single, you want to have fun, you want to not have the burdens and the expectations of a relationship. So let me talk about the past. And I know I'm jumping all over the place here, but I feel like there's only one narrative. In the past, we have here the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is a relationship where I'm sensing you or the other person. It's a relationship where you or your partner feels very alone, okay? One person is putting in a lot of energy to maintain the relationship, and the other person is kind of bouncing around, not prioritizing the relationship. So automatically, it is very unbalanced. It's a relationship where you feel very stuck, very stagnant, where you feel very alone. You feel like the other person is not chipping in their fair share. And because you are a sign that is, you don't really complain, Capricorns. And I also feel that you're very patient. You're patient like a Taurus. And you don't really call people out on things, okay? So it's really important to demand what we feel we need in order to be happy in a relationship. And if those expectations are not met, it's because the other person is not the right one for you. Okay, so I feel that you need to really voice what you need in the relationship. Otherwise, you will end up dumping a lot of energy in relationships and relationship partners that are not appropriate. So I do sense there was a lot of imbalances in a previous relationship where one person felt very alone. Even though you both are physically together, one person feels very alone. One person feels as if this relationship is not enough for me, but for whatever reason, and I feel like that was what caused the breakdown. Okay? It's linked up here as well with the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups basically means that I feel one of you is a major extrovert and one of you is a major introvert. And so when you go out, one person just takes off, mingles with other people. And then the other person is kind of like a wallflower, feeling a little bit out of place, uncomfortable. And I feel like it's an ongoing issue where your partner is not responsive or is not sensitive and thoughtful to your emotional needs. Okay, so really think about what you're trying to achieve here. And I feel for some of you in the past, you might have dealt with a fire sign, a Sagittarius, an Aries, or Leo, or you might have been dealing with a water sign, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio here. Moving to the present situation, we have here the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands is communication back and forth, and I do see a little bit of arguments coming through, and the Nine of Swords, which basically means, worrisome communication, sleepless nights, having feeling like that sense